Welcome students. Now in this session we are studying about the protochordates and vertebrates. In the previous video you learnt about the invertebrates and now I am speaking about the protochordates and vertebrates. Actually they are all chordates. So these chordates have two groups, protochordates and vertebrates. What these protochordates are, you might not be still familiar with this. Here are some of the examples. This is Amphioxus, this is a Herdmania, and this is a Balanoglossus. Of course, all these organisms are new to you and they are included in the group protochordates, and here you will see that in each of them I have labeled something, I have pointed something. Okay, actually stomochord is spelled wrong, which I'll correct it, saying that it is CHORD. Okay, notochord and notochord. Okay, so here these organisms have notochord. Do you have notochord? Just feel at your back. Yeah, there is a supporting structure, but it is made up of vertebrae. Okay, so you have a vertebral column, but not notochord. Are you chordate? Yes, you are chordate because this notochord is modified to vertebral column in you. Okay, but then there is a group of organisms where the notochord persists or it is there in some of the stage of the life. I am highlighting the term some of the stage of the life they have notochord. Okay, so this Amphioxus has this supporting structure throughout the life. Okay, whereas Balanoglossus represents very primitive kind of protochordate which has stomochord or stomodium, which is similar to notochord, but it is present only in the oral cavity and but not in the whole body. But then it is flexible, tubular, rod-like structure which defines notochord. Okay, whereas I said in some of the stage of life. So if you look at the adult Herdmania, which is brownish in color, you see that it is very soft bodied and sort of irregular structure, but its larval stage shows the notochord. This notochord is lost in the adult, but yes, they have notochord in some of the stage of the life, and so these organisms form a primitive group called as a protochordate. And these are the vertebrates, very familiar examples to you. And I have shown the arrow also because these organisms indicate some hierarchy. Okay, so fishes, amphibians, birds, snakes or reptiles or mammals are some of the vertebrate groups which you know and you are familiar with each of this example. Take a while and look at the organisms to find some of the characteristics to describe them as a vertebrate. You can take your own time. Yes, you must have noted some of the characteristics. Okay, so I go ahead with its characteristics and again I follow the plan which I followed to describe the invertebrates. So what are the common features of these chordates? Germ layers, all of them are triploblastic. Symmetry, they are suggesting the bilateral symmetry. They all are deuterostome. I hope now you understand what is deuterostome, where the blastopore becomes the NS. Okay. Habitat, they are marine as well as terrestrial. They can be amphibious also. They all are holozoic. feed on other organisms. None of them can make their own food. Exoskeleton is the main characteristic of this chordates, and you will see that each of them has some or other kind of exoskeleton. The body is covered by means of skin, and skin possesses some exoskeleton, like fishes possesses scales onto it, whereas amphibia doesn't have any exoskeleton, but of course their body is too much glandular. Okay, whereas reptilians, they have again a kind of scutes or plates or scales on their body. Aves have feather and mammals have scales. Of course, unknowingly I have taken the names of each of the classes among the chordates. They have locomotory organs which are represented by different organs, or actually legs they have. In fishes there are fins, legs I'll not say, I'll say limbs. Amphibians, they have forelimbs, hind limbs, whereas reptilians do possesses or they might not have. Similarly, in case of amphibians also, all amphibians do not have limbs, but of course they have some or other mechanism for locomotion, which is the characteristic of all animals, that they can locomote. Birds have wings, so they have some locomotory organs, and you can describe the different forms of it. Digestion happens extracellularly in all these organisms. Respiration, yes, gills in fishes, but then onwards, as the terrestrial life comes into picture, in most of them they respire by means of their lungs. Circulation, of course, well developed, which may be open type of circulation or closed type of circulation. So here we need to understand what is open and what is closed circulation. When the blood flows into the vessels, we call it as a closed. When blood flows through sinuses, we call it as a open. So fishes have open kind of circulatory system, whereas frog, birds, snakes, cats, dogs, they have all closed type of circulation system. All the vertebrates possesses heart, a pumping organ, which may be 2-chambered, 3-chambered, or 4-chambered. Excretion, for excretion, they all have kidney, for which nephridia is the unit. Again, the nitrogenous waste that is collected, it is excreted either directly by means of urinary pore, or they may have a cloaca. So again, fish, frog, bird, reptilia or snake, you will find they have a cloaca, whereas dogs, cats, monkeys, they do not have cloaca. So here I mean to say that in the cats, dogs, or elephants, or a cow, buffalo, they have separate urinary pore, whereas in the rest of the examples they do not have. Okay, nervous systems, of course, well developed, and again, as I have shown an arrow over here, you will find that the nervous system goes on modifying, and there is a well formed brain in all these organisms. The complexity of the nervous system increases, the intelligence, the level of intelligence increases. Reproduction, in all these organisms, sexual reproduction takes place, where the fertilization may be internal or external. Okay, whereas some of them give birth to the organisms, whereas in some cases the eggs are laid. So they are, according to that, they are described as oviparous or viviparous, that is egg laying or giving birth to young ones. Okay, cat, dogs, deers, buffaloes, cows are the examples who give direct birth to the young ones, whereas frogs, salamander, crocodile, snakes are the example, or rohu, katla are the examples who lay the eggs. So these are some of the characteristics of the chordates. Without not going much into details, I have explained you the features of the chordates, which will be studied in detail in our TYBSc. I hope this video lecture is helpful you to understand what we are going to study further. Thank you.